Right.
Okay, thanks Hekia. We're with Hekia Parata, the national candidate for Mana. And the first question, Hekia, is what do you think is the biggest issue for the voters of Mana this election?
I don't think there's one single issue that for the voters of Mana. I think there are 3 or 4 key ones. The first is that although in Mana we have the 4th highest average GDP in New Zealand per household, it's not distributed well across the electorate. So one of the key issues is how we lift productivity, employment, income for all people in the Mana electorate. A second thing is quality and access to quality education, because while we have some really good education opportunities in Mana, it's a bit uneven. The third thing is roading and infrastructure. I want to see Transmission Gully go ahead. I want to ensure that the coastal highway doesn't become an act of economic terrorism of 4 lanes up our beautiful coastline. And I think the fourth thing is the perception about the increase in crime and how we deal with it and how we engage communities in a partnership with the police and not think that it's purely about policing.
And now you've stood for national before in 2002. Was that your first foray into elections, or has there been a few before then?
No, my first conscious political act was to take my 3rd form class out in protest from being not allowed to read the Little Red School Book. I had no idea what was in the Little Red School Book, but I felt it was just offensive that we shouldn't be allowed to read it.
Anything good enough to be banned?
Yeah, that's right. Regrettably, of course, I caused a major conflict because the deputy principal responsible for discipline was my father. But my first involvement in elections, other than student councils and all of those sorts of things, was to run for president of the Waikato Student Union, which I did and was successful, and became the student president in the year leading up to stopping the Springbok tour. So 1980 I was the president of the Waikato Student Union, and one of the things, what's changed? We were arguing for a better universal, student benefit, but we were also arguing, I look back now and rue this a bit, arguing for greater internal assessment. I didn't realise that the powers that be would bring in both internal assessment and keep exams. The idea was try to ameliorate our workload. So that was my first time, and then the next time after that was for Wellington Central.
Okay, now looking to United States, are you a McCain-Palin supporter or a Obama-Biden?
I'm very concerned about both the age and approach of Senator McCain, and I'm similarly concerned about Sarah Palin. I haven't been convinced by her performances in any of her public outings, and I think given the size and influence that the United States still has in the world, that in the interests of greater certainty and stability, I think the Obama-Biden ticket would be far better for Americans and for all of us.
Now, turning to local issues, the tax cuts, we got them a few days ago.
Oh, did we?
We did. Have you brought your block of cheese, or what will you do with your tax cut?
Look, I think they're too little too late. I think that if we had been operating a sensible economic tax reduction program over the past 8 years, rather than leaving it for a late run in the 9th year, we would have greater parity with Australia, and we would be waving goodbye to less of our family and friends. So yes, I believe in tax cuts, but what I believe in is a program of them rather than a one-off last-ditch effort.
And final question, Gough or Cunliffe?
For what?
People decide. We don't frame the question, we just ask the choice.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, it's John Key and Bill English.
Great. Thanks, Hekia.
Thank you.